Hello, it's me again, Bonsi, and welcome back to Between Keyboard and Chair. Thanks for joining us this week. It's our second part of the last episode, where we wrap up our favorites of the last year. This time, we talk about our favorite video games, our favorite books/comics, and our favorite YouTube/Twitch shows, channels. Really depends on who you ask. This is also a very special episode because this is our milestone. Big 10th episode. 1-0. We got here. We got it here, guys. And also the longest one we've recorded so far. So I hope you enjoy it.
I'm here with Keyboard and Chair. Me, Patinator. And my co-hosts,
Bonsi. Still me.
And hi, I'm back, Tim.
I guess I'm also a co-host because if we're all equal here, we're all co-hosts and stuff. But also, what did Adam say before Christmas?
What?
It's Christmas Eve. Yeah! Let's go! That's how you get it.
Oh boy, what a note to start on.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that.
Alright.
Also, now since we've literally been
Shot the floor.
It's been 30 minutes since the last recording, I was gonna say.
Just don't give him a peek behind the curtain.
We just told them last episode. What did we do last time? That was like an hour ago and I forgot already.
We look back on a couple of things we liked about last year. This year, well, by the time you listen to this should be like 2018.
Yeah. Happy New Year. I hope the world hasn't ended. On a side note, I am happy with Tim's joining us more because the initials stop being PP. It becomes PPT. It's kind of catchy, but not PP. PPT.
Yeah, everyone loves a good PowerPoint.
Apparently, this wrestler's gimmick is PowerPoint.
That's kind of interesting. I would like to subscribe to a newsletter.
Like, the thing about that, apparently, like it sounded like a really he's a heel, right?
Yeah.
So the PowerPoint bit was just to kind of like annoy people, but like weird facts about either his opponent or whatever. Right?
You were a tool. Reference PowerPoint.
But apparently, like it got popular because it was dumb and really interesting. Like really interesting as a bit. So like the two hosts of Movie Fighters and then ORAC, they just suspect that eventually he'll have like a heel face turn by the crowd. They'll think, yeah, he's a good guy, right?
Yeah, PowerPoints are awesome. They present points in an idea that is easy to comprehend. That's fantastic, Dad.
So that's a good bit. Anyway,
so what's next on our recap on?
Okay, so we talked about last year's like interesting favorite moments for us or things.
Movies and sports. No, not sports.
Not sports. TV.
TV shows.
Yeah.
Sports ball.
Oh, we ranked, or at least not. We picked our favorite TV show and movie from last year, and so we're continuing that trend this episode with our favorite literature, which covers both comics and books, and our favorite YouTube/Twitch show.
Yes,
that's a new thing, and whatever like miscellaneous thing we might
video
come up
games
with. And video games, right? Gaming. My bad. Sorry, the game.
So we're not talking about sports.
We can't talk about favorite sports.
They call LeBron's free pointers "le fuck yous" now because they're so sick, dude. I don't enjoy the sport, but when you just like, I'm just gonna fuck you with this. Like, we're done here. You're all basic.
Let me guess. Favorite sports for me would be basketball. It's the one I actually kind of know about. It's not even care. I'm assuming you're football.
Formula One, son.
Oh, new stuff. And you, sir?
I don't know, boxing. I want to say.
All right. So,
and I still believe that Conor McGregor's coaches kind of fucked him.
Mentally?
No. Strategically, because his best move was the clinch, and it was not abused.
It was not.
It was not abused because there are ways of clinching from behind that don't look like you're dancing with him. 1, 2, you can put him in a position where Mayweather has to turn and face you with no defense, and that's the perfect time to do it. They took his greatest skill and tried to make him a boxer instead of a fighter.
So they Armageddoned him.
Yes. Instead of teaching the astronauts to drill, they taught the astronauts,
The drillers
to
be
fly.
astronauts.
Oh, I did like more Steve Buscemi. That guy and his wet chameleon-y eyes always get me.
Wet, piercing eyes.
Yes, but
Yeah, so, how do we want... Let's have Tim start this one.
Alright.
Alright, what are we starting with?
I'm going to start with gaming...
literature.
Literature, okay. Let's do it.
He's quickly Googling, what literature do I like?
Words and letters.
That is probably the one topic I am completely unprepared for. So I'm gonna say...
Hands down.
You're not say comics.
What?
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
The safe choice. Shakespeare.
Jean-Paul Sartre.
Julius Caesar.
Oh
Jean-Paul
god.
Sartre.
Okay.
You're gonna start on us?
No.
It's been a while. You must have read a book.
Oh, I have read tons of books.
They just don't remember anything.
All of them are for toddlers.
What's the one you would read again?
Or don't mind reading.
Like
The Cat in the Hat.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's amazing.
Are you saying it's amazing for a kid or amazing as an adult reading it?
Well, we can go into depth on how it is nice and metaphorical, and then the question at the end is, would you actually tell your mother or your parents if something went horribly, horribly wrong, but it all fixed up, got itself sorted out in the end?
Oh yeah, because that guy fixes stuff.
Yeah, because
The answer is
the
no.
cat actually screwed everything up, and then he cleaned it up.
Right.
Would you tell your mother that it actually happened?
God, no.
That is strangely apropos since your family has cats.
Yeah.
With no hats.
That's all I got, guys. This is gonna be a short one for me. Because,
That's fair. That is what you've been experiencing this year.
yeah, having a 2-year-old is great, but all the books I can. In the great green room, there was a telephone, and a red balloon, and a picture of a cow jumping over a moon, and 3 little bears sitting on chairs. Yeah. I've memorized Goodnight Moon.
I love it.
I've memorized
Goodnight
quite
Moon.
a few books.
In fairness, Goodnight Moon is really nice.
It is
It's
really
very
nice.
stirring. Like,
It's a good book.
yeah, and I also like the Batman version.
I have not heard the Batman version.
Not less for kids, but
Right.
It involves punching criminals.
no, it's just also sweet about him dealing with his trauma. It's
okay.
still saying him,
I thought it was.
But then it spirals into a metaphor about always being the Batman.
But of course, like most Batman stories, it just evolves to being, yeah, I am Batman.
That's right.
Because really, the trauma of Batman is like identity.
He's crazy.
He has separated it.
I mean, crazy is a pejorative term, but he's crazy.
Yes. People forget that about Batman.
Yeah, you were saying that your kid loves to read. That's a
Yeah.
good habit to develop
I mean,
early.
Yeah, I
she
support that.
does.
Fully support that.
She likes reading. She likes reading a lot of the same books. She likes choosing what book to read. She's just recently gotten into. Okay, so quick story. When I was a kid, 30 years ago. Oh, sorry for that sound. That was me kicking the table. So when I was a kid, 30 years ago, my parents got a lot of books. They like getting books from me. I think they also went to the philosophy, you can buy whatever book you want. You can buy whatever you want as long as it's a book. We're
God,
not
I
gonna.
wish I had that one.
That's nice.
We're not gonna spend extravagantly on toys. Well, sometimes they did, but, or things. But books, whatever you want, go ahead and get. So that's one of the things I'm gonna be doing with my own kid as well. But the story part is the fact that a lot of the books that I had then, I still have now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
that's kind of cool.
Actually, my daughter, a lot of the books that she's reading, that we read to her, she's 2. Not even. Yet.
Why isn't she reading yet? Where are her A's?
A lot of them actually are 30 years old.
Yeah.
You know, so
Or more.
It's funny to see what the books were then. I mean, they're actually. It's funny to read about mail. About how one of the things that you do during the day is go to the post office and mail something for your aunt.
Look, I had trouble processing that statement.
Right?
It's like, mail? Like, books about guys?
Dudes? No. Like, actual, like,
Those
envelopes.
you lick to close.
Yeah, so it's funny seeing some of those old things in those books.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's pretty cool to read stuff to your kid that you had.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's nice. I mean, and it's extra funny or it's extra entertaining to see that some of the books that I had then still exist now. I mean, granted,
Like new versions of the book?
Yeah,
Like
reprinted
new
versions,
prints.
like old Sesame Street. Like, my daughter is now flipping through pages of this, the Sesame Street Dictionary.
Oh, that's fine.
Right?
That's fine.
And it's basically a dictionary with Sesame Street things in it. And
With some Sesame Street characters.
Do they have a Z?
I don't know.
Z is for Z, and we don't have a dude.
But yeah, so that's...
I don't remember a Z.
In terms of literature, I'll tell you what, there is a lot I want to get around to. There's
Like
a
what?
lot of books.
Is there one like book or series or
Yeah, there are actually a bunch of books that I started before that I never got around to finishing.
Okay.
One example, let me check that here. There you go. Predictably Irrational by, I'm gonna butcher his name, I think, but Dan Ariely? I don't know. But I'm not a fiction guy. Okay, let's just get out of the way. I'm not a huge fiction guy. So there are also some other more fun books like Hyperbole and a Half. I want to mention who wrote that. That is by Ali Brosh.
Ali Brosh.
So fun things. Thing Explainer. I want to read that book. By the XKCD guy, Randall Munro.
I want to check that out.
I mean, there are a bunch of things that I'll eventually get around to when my kid turns 18.
And then you're free.
Yeah.
And then you're second.
Well, it might not have to be 18. Maybe like 17.
When my kid starts hating me and saying, "Oh, go away, Daddy."
Oh, that's like 12.
Fair enough.
That's like 12.
You're so lame.
Yeah.
Your dad used to be cool. Now he's like, safe things.
Like when she has her sense of like privacy, like man, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's about it.
If you had one book that you would like your child to read, like when they grow up, obviously not at 2,
Or The Prince.
Oh, that's a tough one.
There's something like you want your kid, like you have to read this.
The Prince. At 2 years old.
The dictionary.
That's what Eminem did.
Really?
Yeah.
It paid off.
It did.
Yeah, talk amongst yourselves what I processed.
Apparently that's how he kind of prepared for his like rap battles. He would read the dictionary.
He is legit.
The words are not like just the same ending. These rhymes have some complexity to it.
Ducking
the words
and fucking.
Right.
Duck and fuck.
Duck and fuck.
Man, a lot of these rhymes sure have the word fucking. Fuck a truck.
Fuck a duck.
Fuck a fuck in the Canada fuck.
Rapping is easy.
No, it's not. I tried wrapping Christmas gifts when I used to be able to afford them. It wasn't easy.
That's what Enzo asked his girlfriend to do.
Man.
I have no idea why. I have no...
Alright.
I mean, the first thing that always comes to mind... Well, the first thing that came to mind, maybe because it created an impact on me, but I don't think it's going to create such an impact on her, would be the Dante trilogy.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's not a big read. That's a big read.
Well,
Yeah, I remember like when we used to. I saw it on your nightstand sometimes.
yeah.
I never finished it.
I enjoyed reading
Poetry?
I don't know. It is poetry. I never really considered it that.
That's the barrier for me. That's the way I had a hard time reading it. It's in poetry.
I mean, there are published books where it's more of a story rather than
It's more prose.
Yeah, it's more prose rather than it is. But I don't know, for some reason that did have an impact. I don't know why.
All three?
Inferno.
Definitely
Inferno. Paradiso wasn't bad.
It's the middle
Purgatorio was alright, but it's Purgatory. Yeah,
it is really like just like
It's so appropriate. How sensible.
Brilliant.
But yeah, Dante's Inferno was pretty good. I can't think of a good moral of the story that she should get in growing up from Dante's Inferno.
There's one. Don't murder.
There's two.
What's the other?
Don't let dad kick you out. Fuck, it's a long, slow fall.
Let's have 3 villains in your mouth for eternity. I think is one of the lessons you can get.
But yeah, I guess that's gotta be my answer.
That's pretty good.
Answer.
That's pretty good.
It is a classic for a reason.
I like Cat in the Hat as the pick.
Yeah,
Dad, we disproved the devil using the Hadron Collider. Come on.
You know what? Nice. Nice. If you can do that, nice.
And that's why I don't like your poem.
She throws it.
We know it's not real. Now I gotta wait for Santa. I don't know why she turned into a valley girl. There's no reason for that.
Or context for it.
Where were you? Alright, Fonz.
Okay, for me...
You got comic books.
Yeah, I do. I have 2 picks. One comic, one literature. Because like, I do read fiction.
The juxtaposition in that sentence is troubling.
I know, it's troubling. I mean, okay, fine. Pause. Okay. Hi, guys. I'm jumping in right now to make a small errata and maybe save myself some dignity that I've kind of squandered. I'm actually referring to Mr. Miracle in this conversation and not Miracle Man. Completely different characters from completely different authors and publishers. You'll see me make the adjustment later when it kind of like caught up in my head. I remember thinking about the mistake and I couldn't walk it back midway through the conversation. So I'm going to cop up to it right here. It was a bad mistake and I know what I'm talking about. Man, I lost my comics cred right there. So yeah, I'm talking about Mr. Miracle and not Miracle Man. Okay, back on.
What is Miracle Man?
Miracle Man is a character from Jack Kirby's Fourth World. He's the greatest
You're making me blink out of sync.
He is the greatest escape artist. Like that's his his kind of gimmick.
Oh shit, Scott Miracle?
Scott Free.
Scott Free.
Yeah, married.
I prefer Scott Miracle.
Mr. Miracle. It's in the card. Scott Miracle. Mr. Miracle. Yeah.
And I am Big Lady.
I am Big Girl.
Generic DC heroes.
Yeah, so the Fourth World is one of those like classic Kirby creations. It's cosmic in scale. It's supposed to be like a reaction to the Asgardian side of the Marvel universe.
Alright.
Right? So it's big concepts. It's him in his giant space opera. And I've always been a fan of that. But what's interesting about this one is it's currently written by Tom King. And Tom King has probably been one of the best writers, new writers in the business right now.
I think you mentioned him a few times.
Tom King has not written a bad comic.
Is he like the Brad Bird of comics right now?
Right now. Like, he hasn't made a bad comic. Like, some of them are not as strong, but his weak comics are far better than some of the like best of some people's work.
Jesus Christ.
And he's like not even a writer by trade. He was, I think, either an ex-CIA or FBI guy or someone in like military.
Jesus Christ! I don't think you should go around telling people he's ex-CIA.
No, it's part of his package. It's part of his like marketing. Like he
marketing.
Yeah, like because he was a new guy.
Problematic.
Like he was a new guy who got into the scene and got comics. We can look him up, Tom King. It's military.
I will, and I'm gonna find out if that's bullshit.
Go ahead. Yeah, but he worked in that realm for a while, and then he came in. He started with small projects, like offshoot projects, like some Green Lantern, Omega Men comic, and then he got the Vision. He got gotten by DC to write Batman and Mr. Miracle. What I like about it is it portrays the character that is cosmic in spirit as this very like reluctant person in a bigger story.
And it's already cosmic level.
And it's cosmic level for the big picture, but it's just about this guy who doesn't seem to want to be there anymore. And it's like Talking Heads. It's like a guy trapped between two worlds. And it's a fresh take for the usually happy character, Scott Free.
Yeah.
Like he's always portrayed as like smiling and like fantastic and whatnot. But here you can kind of see him as kind of like weary. From whatever bullshit, and he's kind of confused with things. So it's an intriguing take on an otherwise very like different character, but you can see how if you take down the fantastic elements of the fourth world, it's really a horrible situation to be in, right? Because he was raised by this like abusive granny.
Yeah, we know about Godfrey.
Granny goodness, Godfrey's not even part of it just
really
yet. Yeah. And like it's really rewards like old time fans, and that's I think what appeals to me. Like it's a fresh take on an otherwise very known IP from a great creator,
and arguably a very exhausted IP.
Yeah,
we don't really hear a lot about the New Gods anymore. In
because,
fact, you're probably not even going to make it to the DCEU.
In fact, like just before that. Like the big event for the fourth world was like Darkseid was killed and became a baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not gonna go there. That's too long.
That's gotta be better than King Thanos.
I hate Thanos. I'd rather have baby Darkseid, where he has to wear goggles to prevent his Omega beams from killing people.
Go go gaga. Love equals death. Anti-life equation.
Despair. Yeah, so like that's an interesting thing. It's fairly new. Only like a few issues have come out, and it's very promising. The book recommendation, the book pick I want is any of the Caiaphas Cain novels of Warhammer 40K.
Caiaphas Cain is
I recently got into that one.
Stop being good at war. They'll just find reasons to get you
you
killed. So, I'm technically dead.
Caiaphas Cain, hero of the Imperium, the Warhammer 40K universe. Because I wanted to be in the Warhammer 40K thing. Like I have this fantasy of eventually buying a figure and painting it.
Yes, eventually you will get the 40K for the 40K game.
Which I don't have. So like I feel like one thing I can do is read books.
Wait. A figure is how much?
It can be 40K, but that's the joke.
The figure is not 40K. Okay. The investment for the game is around 40K.
So it's like magic.
It's like
except
magic.
Cheaper.
Yeah, it's like magic but cheaper, Pat. Literally.
Some mythics go for 8,000 pesos. Like that's not okay.
It's almost.
It's cardboard.
It's almost $200.
Yeah.
So it's that. So. I started reading. I looked at what's the easiest, most accessible book series, and two things came up: Gaunt's Ghost by Dan Abnett, who's a comic book writer, and Caiaphas Cain. And so I went with Caiaphas Cain only because it was the one that's marketed as a comedy. And true enough,
it's fun.
It's a dark comedy, but it's an easy breezy read. So I've read 3 novels already.
It's a really nice. I don't want to say take, but it's a
hot take.
It's a refreshing viewpoint on a grimdark universe. What is the average schmuck doing here? Like, oh, this is all shit, and I'm alive.
Because as much as I love the lore of Warhammer, I don't think I can read. I mean, what is there to look forward to except more grim darkness?
Only in myth form does it work. Like when they tell you about the myth Sanguinus. Like how
that's my favorite. That's my dude.
Yeah. Or how the Horus Heresy verse began.
Yeah.
Like if you tell it in terms of like a biblical story, it fits. But if you're actually reading it, and then this winged dude came in and punched his dad in the head, and then his dad went into a coma, but he's totally being powered and he's still alive.
Because there's no real victory in the Warhammer universe.
There can't be, or the game would end.
Yeah. So, this was my easy access point. And it's a nice kind of perspective from, the small men of the Empire.
Yeah.
Right? It's a small...
The guardsmen.
The guardsmen. And it's a fun kind of look at how that kind of story plays out. And it's fun. It's accessible. It's a quick read.
Yeah.
And the stakes are high. Because
he has legit problems. He's not just like... He's not Forrest Gumping his way.
Yeah, and I like the idea that he tries his best to avoid danger, only to competently deal with that exact danger he's trying to avoid. So that's a fun read. That's my book picks, sir.
For me, this one actually I think started this year.
Wow,
I only discovered
that's
this year. Goblin Slayer. It is a manga, and that trigger warning because the contents of the manga are pretty fucked up.
Okay.
Because we don't mince words. This is like the modern, not I guess modern, because it's still modern, but a story in the same vein as Shingeki no Kyojin or Attack on Titan, which is like,
okay.
Bad things are happening to people. Here the problem is goblins. It is a D&D world, like a D&D style world. In fact, no one has a name. Strictly speaking,
goblins.
Like his friend is dwarf mage. Like that's his buddy.
Dwarf mage
or human priest. Like,
race plus class plus name.
Yeah, that's their name. He's Goblin Slayer. And the deal is what happens in a D&D world when people keep leveling up. When they keep skipping ahead, who deals with the goblins? These fast, these brutal little creatures who fucking terrorize towns.
Yeah, because for NPC humans, village folk, they are scary as hell.
Yeah, they're scary as fuck. And then every bigger guy is like, where's the next Demon King? We'll get him. And there's this one fucker who goes into an adventurers guild every time, and he goblins. And he just keeps asking. And it all has all the setup for a comedy.
Niche market.
Very niche market, this guy. And all the other heroes are looking down and like, that guy just grinded his way up to his level. Like, this guy is shit. This guy is nothing. But then you see what the goblins do to the first adventure party they find. They kill everyone, they rape the rest.
Oh boy, that is rough.
Not in that order.
Fucking goblins, man.
But because there are no female goblins, that's how they breed. It's all quite fucked up, and they present it in the threat that the higher levels wouldn't understand. And
the higher levels will not understand.
And then there's this Goblin Slayer who's like, how do you fight goblins? Well, I cheat. I divert rivers to their homes. I burn them dead.
So he's really like
he's a hunter, and
he's like high level.
He's a high level dude who's just deal with goblins there. And the line that sold me on it was 3 people come to ask him for help because they know he's very skilled at killing things.
Goblins,
very goblins, all the goblins, goblins. And they ask him to join him on a bigger team, in a bigger mission. And his response is no, there are no goblins. Why would I go? And that's exactly the reaction. Like, no, that can't be right. You're fucking with us. And we're like, but the world is at stake. And he says, just because the world is going to end doesn't mean goblins don't need to die. Because without him, goblins would still destroy villages.
Yeah.
Like, no one's looking at the villages, no one's looking at the smaller things.
Yeah.
And the world may end, but villages will still need saving. And he's always going to keep going for that. He's so fucking focused on it. That's the focus of most of the comedy. He meets like an epic level character. Enough banter. Where are the goblins? I see. We shall point you towards the goblins. And then he fucks goblins up. And that's the manga. And like, I don't know why it's so fucking compelling. But he gets into he's just so single-minded. He does this one thing so well. And the point where a little detail there is they never show his face. They have never shown his face.
Really?
He's always in armor.
Okay. So armor, it's not shadow. Okay.
Yeah, it's not shadow. He takes it off for one issue only because his armor's getting repaired.
Experience from that side of the table. You guys have done this before, and with varying degrees of difficulty and challenges.
I have learned that putting a story in front of players is not the right idea. I have learned that making them mad at one character is an idea. And just making them so angry that they will try to stop him for personal reasons.
For separate personal reasons.
Usually it's because they lived.
That is an affront in itself.
These guys are like the Voldemorts. It's the boy who lived. Get him.
Where everyone is Harry Potter, where they're all Voldemorts.
Yes.
But the good guys.
That's accurate.
Good, yeah, you're the guys.
with the protagonists.
Yes.
In which our alliances and allegiances are not necessarily important. Yeah, so like that's my pick for 2017. I made an act.
You ran a game.
I ran
Yes, you
two
can.
games at this point. And I'm planning to run a smaller one even for like my cousin, because apparently my cousin's into it. So like there's a bunch of people I didn't expect.
That is so weird. Like, that's a thing people do now.
And like you think, right, that initially it was for kids. In 1970 when it was first conceived, it's for young people like teens and whatnot.
Not kids, though.
I mean, they're kids, they're virtually kids. Like,
No, that's...
they're virtually kids, 17.
It's the pedantic, but kids are like 10 below.
Okay, fine. Okay, they're slightly more than
Yeah,
10.
because that was like... That's a little advanced for kids. Kids, imagine that you're a monster. Ah.
Well, they're not the monsters.
Yeah.
But like more and more, like my cousin's like working, and that's her first, and I wouldn't expect it from her.
Like, of all people.
Of all people, but she's playing a game now. She's in a campaign. She's a Dragonborn, and
This used to be cool.
yeah. So like, and across the board, like people have been more into this thing.
Shit. I remember when we started playing it, and we went digging for dice because no
Yeah.
store in the fucking Philippines sold dice.
Yep. No,
Like,
we're not even looking for dice. We're just looking for D20s. It's
Like,
not
yeah,
even.
we didn't have D20s, and we found
We would compromise on like the others.
3 sets of the old blue box in
Yeah.
D&D Advanced Edition, and I
Yep.
still have the rule book from that, so we still have the bosses. And that was the first set of dice. The dice were so old that one of the D20 shattered.
Yeah, and eventually all the others like cracked.
Yeah,
like, I think we have like maybe 2 or 3 pieces, mostly the D6s and D20s to survive.
Yeah, like the more secure builds.
Yeah, everything else like the D8s shattered and cracked.
They don't look good anymore.
Yeah. But now like
Now you can't fucking trip over somebody, or like, you can't swing a dead cat.
before,
We're not getting
it's a strange thing, right? Like before, if you're into comics, it is not like obvious. Like people wouldn't understand. Like if you're into comics, like yeah, it's just for kids and
It's
shit.
your cartoons.
Yeah, right. And then D&D is even much more
Niche.
more niche. But nowadays, like that's mainstream as hell.
Thanks, Matthew Mercer. I mean, he sets the expectations a little
He does.
high.
It does. And the thing is, like, he's conscious about that. Like, he knows he doesn't mean to.
Yeah.
But like, that's what
he do.
That's what he is. Like,
That's
he's
what McCree
professional.
does.
Yeah. So like, that's my pick. Like, because just even in the university, there's now an org dedicated for like tabletop.
I feel like that shouldn't be an org in a university, but let's move on.
It's just.
I agree.
But it's just like, look, in the defense of orgs.
And I went to that university.
In the defense of orgs, they're not necessarily supposed to be educational in the most traditional sense. They don't have to be academic.
Times have changed.
They're unofficial, unaccredited orgs, but they're orgs. Like they are recognized by the office as an organization.
So what do they do? They just meet up on org days and play a campaign.
I don't know if that's what they do,
Because I mean,
but
that
one hopes
sounds
so.
good.
One hope so.
but yeah,
I think it's less about campaigns, more like games in general, like
There's-
small
okay,
pockets.
that's fine.
Because I know they have like Warhammer
Yeah.
manuals out there for their
hobby
hobbies.
yeah,
hobby.
that sounds
Oh,
pretty good.
that's more reasonable than the atheist group in the school I went to. What are you talking about? Certainly isn't a god here. Good job, you guys. Meet again in 5.
This every week.
Are you sure about this?
This conversation every single week.
God, like, there is a Reddit on that. Like, they make some good points sometimes, but I'm also like, why are you a group?
Why is this a constructive conversation that prolongs? Yeah, so that's my pick for gaming this year. D&D Resurgence is my pick.
What are you telling me? Like, we changed this approach from a game to a culture.
Yeah, I think one of the Mike Merrill's interviews, like the big mindset shift from 4th ed and before to 5th ed was, he said, to approach it less as a business where you have to put expansions that people will buy.
Yeah, that was very obvious, and that allowed the splat books.
Right?
Yeah.
Like we had like a long library of books, right? Like
Yeah,
you
and
can
then-
access, but we rarely really read.
There wasn't a lot. There's like a piece of it,
Yeah.
something you wanted for a class or something.
So and they think their new like model was like was a culture approach, which is like if people buy into the culture, eventually they'll buy into the products.
Oh, newsflash. If you provide customers with a positive experience, they may buy your products.
Exactly. And so it became less about like selling, making
EA.
products, and more of like making things accessible for people to participate in. And I think that's one of the reasons people kind of picked up on it now.
I also like for that on the accessibility note is that it is more accessible and that it's way less math. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, like from a product standpoint and a gaming, like the play standpoint, right? There's less math.
But it's no less complex than it used to be.
Oh no, yeah, definitely.
The math is simpler, but you still have to put shit together. Right?
Yeah.
You can't just like...
There's still modifiers, there's still like the
and the feat selections, and now you have to choose between feats and attributes. Why do you hate me?
Oh, but now every level has something.
I know there's one brick level. There's always a brick level.
Is it? No, it's not 4. 4 is pretty good.
Free is
No,
free
three's
is
good.
your path.
Yeah, 3 is pretty good. 5 maybe might be.
Yeah, but there's always one.
I don't know. I think it's 4 because 4 is like the attribute, the first attribute score. And that's it.
It could be bricked if you don't feat it.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I think it makes just easier access all around. Like it's now online. The books are widely available.
Yeah.
And
Character creators are the thing.
yeah, and if you want to have like a very basic, simple experience, like it's free. Like the D&D Next set is
That's true.
virtually free.
Huh.
So
And whatchamacallit,
there's a lot of support.
It's like we looked at like what the fans were making, like character creators,
Yeah.
and we'll sell that to
yeah,
you.
and they even open like this DM's Guild, right? Like it's a website where you can buy stuff, official stuff, or can buy homebrewed stuff made by other players, and sometimes for free, like pay what you want
Like, here you
system.
go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like, and that's legit. That's in a real Wizards website.
Huh.
So I know we're two different departments, but it's so bizarre that they can do that for D&D, be so giving, and
Yeah.
and Venver's magic.
Magic. Oh, which is like they also like involve magic somehow now. There's a couple of adventure sets set in magic.
Ah,
realms.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's Ixalan and a bunch of others.
Oh, nobody cares about it.
There's English Amonkhet. I'm not sure, but there's a bunch of like.
I hope less people care about Amonkhet.
Well, the wizards people care about Amonkhet.
I mean, Egyptian gods.
Yeah. So but there are a bunch of like sets. I think Innistrad is one of them.
Vampires.
Yeah. So I think there's a bunch of like settings in Magic, right, in their blocks that have D&D adventures. So
And then
people
Urza
can
screws
cross. Yeah, because Urza is Urza. Or Nicol Bolas, whatever.
Oh, he's still a thing.
He's the big villain now, right? Nicol
Yeah.
Bolas. So yeah, that's my pick. D&D. 5th Ed, particularly. What's to go next?
He does.
I do. I see.
Let's just get over the pain,
Okay,
Tim.
so I've been giving this a lot of thought. A lot of thought. And
Mostly denial.
mostly denial. And so to caveat this, I have played a total of 3 games
Generously.
to completion. Well, that's a stretch. 2.5 games. So 2 games to completion.
Let's another
And
one.
half of another one.
Just for context, like among the 3 of us, Tim has probably the largest gaming library at any point in our friendship.
Well,
You still have them. It's just not
it's
active.
just not active.
Yeah. So like, it's not a lack of options, mind you. But he only played 3
I don't have new games. To be fair, I have a big collection
of
of the
games.
old games. So, of the new games that I did play, there are 2 that I finished. One of them is Uncharted Lost Legacy, which was enjoyable,
Is
if
that
not
really
short.
Nathan Drake's kid?
No,
No.
Nathan Drake's former partner,
/ love interest.
sort of, yeah. Was she ever love interest?
Yeah, she was an old flame that came back in 2.
Right.
Which had the romance until Elena like, remember me?
Yeah. The other one.
A girl. Best girl.
Oh, that was a good game. I mean, I wouldn't call it my favorite.
Right.
That was a good game.
What platform was that?
That was on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, okay.
Exclusive.
Is it
PlayStation 4.
the full
or
game?
PS4 Pro. Huh?
Is it a full game?
Yes, in quotation marks, in the sense that it's a full game, but it's not as long as the other Uncharted's.
Because Uncharted 4 is
So
Pretty
think of it
big.
as like a 0.5 in a way,
Okay,
right?
alright.
So it's big. It's I think it's 12 to 15 hours long.
Oh, that's pretty
Which
long.
is it's or it could be 8 to 15. Anyway, somewhere there. It's a respectable size.
Yeah.
It didn't come out full price. It's not a full price game.
Oh, okay.
So it's
That's
a
good.
respectable size for a half price game. And it's a good game. It's an enjoyable experience. I wouldn't necessarily say it had the same pace, excitement as the other Uncharted games. But by no means did it drag behind. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
it was good. It was good.
That's good.
The other game that I played was Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh.
And I sunk a good maybe 90 hours into that game.
Oh, wow.
Now, to be fair, that game has a lot of problems.
That's true. That is true.
I enjoyed the game. The parts that I didn't enjoy were the repetitive parts.
The dead eyes.
There were, when you first open it up, when you bought it day one, you
Yeah.
don't really notice
Oh, you
those
don't, you
things
don't.
until people start mentioning it.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
it was a lot of fun. At some points, I found it dragging quite a bit because it was a really damn long game,
Yeah.
and it was a very completionist game. And I'm probably half the reason why I don't play games as much as I used to is I'm a very completionist game player. Now, don't get me wrong, I am no platinum medal,
Yeah.
platinum trophy guy.
I can't
But-
even.
But I like collecting the things. I like
Right.
being able to say I've been to 100% of the places out there, right?
I'm the same way. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like if it's not marked on the map, I probably won't seek it.
Yeah. But
But if it's
there,
on the map,
you
like,
gotta go.
yes, I'm going.
They gave you the question mark. I get
Yes,
it.
I'm going.
Which is why
Find
I'm
out.
afraid to play Assassin's Creed Origins. I really want to play that game,
Yeah,
but I'm really afraid to play that game because it has a massive map.
yeah, and also goddamn feathers they keep hiding
Eh.
all over the town.
Now, so I found that to be a fun game. Now, it wasn't as good as the other Mass Effects, but it was a good game. So, of those, so I've told you I've also played half
What's
of
the half?
Cuphead.
Oh, okay.
That's a really that's an enjoyable game, but it's a tough game to get through,
Yeah,
as
I
I'm
heard
sure anyone who's played Cuphead would know. Now, amongst those three, what would I say is my game of 2017? Since Ponzi cheated, I will as well. I'm going to say my
Blame it
favorite,
on me.
my favorite game, quote unquote, of 2017 would be the plethora of multiplayer games that the three of us have played. Couch co-ops.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So I'm gonna go back
Okay,
and say
that's not cheating. That's
Yes.
completely legit.
It's cheating.
it's cheating. I'm gonna go and say
Weird the
the
fuck.
Overcooked are fantastic. The
I like Overcooked.
the Hidden in Plain Sight.
Hidden in plain sight.
That's an amazing game.
Oh,
good.
if you have the chance to play it with friends, that's the game.
man.
Half the game is figuring out who you are.
Yeah,
The other
that's
half is trying to figure out
fantastic.
like who they are.
That guy went to the circle.
Oh man, what's the name of that game? The
Jackbox?
climbing. No, well, Jackbox.
Climb
is
your
definitely-
friends.
Climb Your
Mount your
Friends.
friends.
Mount Your Friends
Mount Your
is an
Friends.
amazing
Is that
game.
this year?
No,
No, that was
but
last year.
Yeah,
This
it's-
is good.
Is it last year or year before that?
Yeah, I think so. Year before.
Of course, we have to mention Jackbox because that's an amazing collection of games.
Jackbox is just like a
Um,
game.
The
That
recent
thing where we're
ones-
saving the world.
Saving
Helldivers.
Helldivers. That was a bad game that we enjoyed the shit out
Yeah.
of.
Because there was friendly fire, it was perfect.
Yep. And Ponzi always decided to kill everyone.
Okay, wait,
so
like,
far.
it's
No,
not a
Ponzi, it's my time.
decision.
It's my time.
He has the stick. Let him speak.
That Dragon Choice was not a decision. This was incompetence.
Yeah.
Dude, you got zeroed in with shotguns. What the shit?
I get what?
You were never allowed to have a mech again.
Also, like, when there's bad guys, you miss, but like when it's, oh, he's behind me, bam!
It's insane.
Yeah.
100%.
So what other couch? I mean, we have played a lot. What are the better ones?
There's a bunch of
We once
Jackbox.
considered skipping out a Christmas party to play Halo.
Oh, there's that puzzle.
we
it was
want
it was last year though, but it was the puzzle.
Puzzle?
The puzzle island thing where you kind of look at patterns. Of,
Yeah, that was like...
That wasn't really a couch co-op. That was the Witness.
yeah, that was the witness.
That was,
It was-
it was cooperative.
That was pretty interesting.
I mean, after a while, the puzzles seemed very arbitrary.
After a while, Ponzi and I were playing, and Pat was passed out on the couch beside us. That happened.
I can't deal.
That is not good with puzzles or math.
And I'm hoping. Well, we're gonna see each other again real soon after this. But we have a bunch of other games that we haven't played yet.
Yeah.
Older ones like Crawl, for example.
That's right. We never got Gang Beasts, no.
Well, we have played Gang Beasts.
But it wasn't like
Was that the giant when we were fighting gummies?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
They were like gummy clay dudes.
Yes,
that was
that was it. So
no, I was just bad at it. That's right. We played it successfully once.
Yeah, they've made a lot of changes to that game.
Actually, it was released, right?
Yes, and they've made a bunch of changes to it. Actually, some of the weirdest ones is actually what the characters in Gang Beasts look like. But hey, it's just as fun as it used to be. We'll try it out.
Chicken Horse.
Horse.
Ultimate Chicken Horse.
We spent a lot of time with Chicken Horse.
We spent a lot of time with Ultimate Chicken Horse.
We spent a lot of time trying not to win.
Yep.
We were playing the game wrong.
I think that's probably gonna have to be the top three. Like we have Jackbox, we have Ultimate Chicken Horse, and
Hidden in Plain Sight.
I mean, those are really the three that we have played.
We keep coming back to them because it's almost infinitely replayable. Like even the same stages, right?
Yeah.
Except for that one with the changing lights. That's a
hell of a stage. I mean, there are also honorable mentions, of course, the ones we used to play in the past when we first, quote unquote, recently first started couch co-oping again, like Speedrunners.
Yeah, Speedrunners. Speedrunners is a game I could not play well. It's fun to play, but I'm just not good at it.
We stopped playing when Pat won every single round.
When he figured out how to play the game.
That's also when we stopped playing Samurai Gun.
To be fair, like whenever Pat figures out the game, people just stop playing.
In perspective, I'm average in the world as a whole.
So he's calling us below average.
Below average, like
yes.
So, welcome to Beyond, Between Keyboard and Chair with Tim and Ponzi.
It's not Beyond Keyboard and Chair without
Beyond Keyboard and Chair with Ponzi and Tim. Welcome.
We're putting it on the channel.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's fine.
Nice.
That's what we're doing for April 1.
I'm not there.
Now, to be fair, just because I feel like it has to be said, so those were the 2017 highlights of our couch co-oping game.
Yeah.
We've been couch co-oping for a good 15 years.
Yeah.
More
Jesus.
maybe.
Yeah. Jesus, we've been friends a long time before Wolverine became Wolverine.
Before Hugh Jackman ate the soul.
God, we used to Micro Machines.
I wasn't even in Micro Machines.
Yeah, you were in Micro Machines. Yeah, of course there was GoldenEye.
All the Halos.
All the Halos.
I think Halo is the one that really put it together.
Oblivion. It wasn't couch co-op, but we went here. And
every game is a couch co-op.
You took all of my money in Oblivion.
And he sold your...
No, that was Saints Row.
Yeah, that was him.
I was asleep.
His was Oblivion, and they didn't touch Oblivion. I will take responsibility for facial reconstruction.
To be fair, I screwed Pat in Oblivion. I became a vampire, and I said, Pat, make me stop being a vampire. That took him a while.
I did it. Also because those assholes in the arena pulled a fast one.
Yeah.
Instead of one dude, there's three of them. What the?
Pulled a fast one.
That took forever. We just ended up buying scrolls to summon shit. Fuck you, I'm cheating too.
Yeah, but I will cop up to facial reconstruction and Saints Row 1.
All my money.
The face you can't see.
That was Saints Row 1, right?
Yeah, that was one.
That was one.
Like when you could work out in the treadmill.
Yeah. So when that mattered.
Man, we have. I got the new Micro Machines as well.
Oh, I haven't played Micro Machines in a long time.
It doesn't hold up, but hey, it's,
nostalgia trip.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my pick for 2017. Old games. Non-Andromeda.
Which you played this year.
Which I played this year.
Let the record show.
It's
not Andromeda.
It was a good, horrible game. Or a horrible, good game. You take your pick.
I'm still in the middle of figuring that out.
Oh, you're playing it now.
I'm playing it now, yeah.
You know what? Enjoy it.
Honestly, I am.
Because it's despite what all of the critics out there are saying, it's a very flawed game, but there's still something enjoyable to be had there.
And actually,
you can still find the fun.
Yeah.
I am having a lot of fun playing it, and while I acknowledge that there are certain issues with that, it's not too great to extinguish the fun out of it. Anyway, sir, what's your pick?
Considering I have 400 hours in 8 months, it's gonna have to be Gwent.
It's also well documented in the channel.
No, not XCOM. Well, Gwent is in 2017.
XCOM was...
He quit XCOM in 2016.
Like, Long War killed me. Like, I had last campaign I did for XCOM 2 and I had one loss. But, like, I got to a mission, like, it bugged.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to send... No, that was the campaign before. I was in Long War. This one was, I had a defense, which is seen as not impossible, but you're not going to get out of it well. And bugged, you should send 10 people. I could only send 8. And like, that's it. The campaign's dead because everyone else is injured. And then there was a disastrous last mission where I forgot, Berserkers get extra actions. Oh no.
That's right.
Oh, they're all dead, Mike. They're all dead. Well, no, my lead ranger died, which was not good.
That's rough.
That was my damage guy. It was all over.
Is it the bald girl?
No, it was JD.
Before you continue into Gwent, I have to give you props on that because I tried to install Long War 2.
Yeah.
I played one mission and
Is that Gate Crash?
Gate Crash is different now.
I don't know if it was the intro. No, fine. 2 missions.
Okay,
it was like it was one of the randomly generated ones.
I guess. All right.
And the reinforcements just kept coming. They just don't stop.
That's because we don't explain the game to you, which is very frustrating about Long War.
Which is basically don't get seen.
No,
not even.
Send one dude. Because the number of reinforcements and how easily they see you depends on the number of people you send and how quickly you infiltrate.
So if you have a good exit strategy or a well-oiled team, you can send a full
Right.
Most missions in Long War 2 I achieved with 1 or 2 people, and that's actually that's the standard.
So that's the one I can't do. Like I've survived long enough in Long War 2 in just really careful planning, or else I tried to do the small team thing. They didn't come back alive.
You get the right people there. It's over. You get Shinobi up to rank 4, and they have reduced detection range, and it's
they do.
And then I didn't sign up for XCOM for stealth missions. That was not what was advertised.
Yeah.
I did not watch Iron Fist for sweet business deals. I did not watch The Last Jedi so someone could crap all over it. Look, that's a story for another day. But
okay,
for people just to be clear, I don't mind the characterizations. It's all in the execution.
That's Patinator.
So for someone who has never seen it, has never played it, who has never seen it,
What's going?
Yes, I haven't seen one of your Gwent videos. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
Give me a gist. Okay, also for someone who has never played Gwent in Witcher 3.
Okay.
Help me out. Actually, no, I did because I was forced to.
That's true.
And
that's right. There's no way out of it.
You're forced to in
the first part.
In
Nilfgaard.
No,
in one of the expansions.
No, you're not. In one of the expansions, in a party.
Oh, really?
What's her name? Was there?
For Triss?
No, not Triss.
Miss Marigold.
For Shani.
Yes, for Shani.
Who's
during
Shani?
The wedding.
Best girl, that's who.
Really?
So
okay, I'm curious now. Because Triss is my best girl right now. I like Triss.
You're a yen?
No.
You're a nun?
Who's the nun?
No, nun?
No, there's...
I'm
the plan to...
Who's the nun?
Who's the nun?
I'm
gonna be Jesus for her.
Okay, I'm a Siri, not with
Geralt. Okay, that's
no, but because Siri's like my favorite action girl there. Because she's magic and sword.
I'm not a big fan of personality-wise. I'm not a big fan of any of the
the other...
Shani, I suppose, would be the least offensive, quote unquote.
Holy shit!
You know, I mean,
but she's a career girl. Like she's a career lady.
Yeah. She's a doctor, right?
Yeah, she's a super doctor.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play that soon.
Now, she was a love interest in one.
Oh.
Yeah, way back.
Yeah.
I do have one.
But for someone who didn't play Gwent in The Witcher 3, wherein for me it was the adventures of a CCG player saving the world in his spare time. Because
the adventure of a CCG player
saving the world in his spare time. That's how I played it. I gotta find the next card.
CCG.
Emir, damn it.
CCG by day.
CCG by day. World saving by night. How can I play Gwent if the White Frost comes? Gwent is based on an old game, which you each get 10 cards, and you play cards. They each have effects. You can't interact with each other in your turns, and who has the biggest number, who has the biggest power in the board, counted by unit cards on the board, wins. There are 3 rounds.
So 3 rounds of 10 cards each.
No, 10 cards. Second round you draw 2, third card you draw 1.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? I never noticed the 1 in the third round.
That wasn't there in Gwent before.
Oh,
it's
in the in-game
in-game thing. It's new. It's to increase the dynamics. It used to be a lot different from that. But so yeah, it's basically a very complex math game in the same way D&D is a very complex imagine this shit game.
Imagine this shit plus math game.
A very complex imagination. Yes, yeah, we are very, very handsome in this universe. But
I've never played the handsome one in this universe.
The complication there, as opposed to Magic, Hearthstone, is that you can't punch the other guy out of the game. Like, there's no life points.
Okay.
It's a contest of points at the end of each round, or when both players pass.
Okay.
And which means that the challenge isn't hitting him, it's sequencing. Like, I have to do this in the right order so that his effects won't trigger and mine do. Or
this is a card game.
Yeah. So, like, let's say his damage on average is like, there's a new curse deck for Northern Realms. That's like, the average damage, if they deal damage to your board, is 7 or higher.
So you can deal damage.
Yeah, but to units. So you can affect the final score.
Oh, right.
Oh, because each unit has a power value.
Yeah, then all of it adds up to your final
So if you
value.
damage the units, you can reduce their value.
Yes. So let's say you expect him to do that. You play smaller power units so that he never gets full value of the damage he deals, while you get maximum value of the utility of the small units.
Okay.
So it's sequencing. Like, can I tell if he has this card depending on why he's playing? If he's moving my units to a certain row, what do you do? So there's a lot of guesswork.
There's a lot of guesswork. Even in the in-game game.
There's a lot of prediction.
So what's the difference between the in-game Witcher 3 Gwent and the standalone Gwent?
Oh, standalone Gwent is good. The in-game Gwent is not. Because, like, play Spies, play Nilfgaard, give the finger to everyone. Like, because card advantage is king there and Spies are unfair. Because you can toss Spies for no point loss to get 2 cards. So, like,
okay.
Yeah. And there's a lot of the mechanics are way more complex. I mean, way more is strong. It is dense. It is hard to get into. You can't, because there's no base concept. Like, you play Magic, like, you can introduce someone to Magic, like, you play Goblin Smash Face, and then
that's how I literally learned how to play Magic.
Right?
As in, literally, play Goblin, Smash Face.
But for Gwent, it's like, what do? Play big number.
Smash Face?
Then Smash Face? No, then wait for that guy to play his big number.
That's right.
Then my big number? Yes, then your big number. Just like you play with it. Like,
I mean, for a game in game, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's very simple. It is a concept, and I mean, I'm not gonna call it the best game of the year for
several reasons.
A multitude.
Oof.
But I mean, like once pointed out, the more I play something or the more I watch something, the more I hate it because you just notice the flaws.
Because you're naturally moving to efficiency.
Yeah, but. I remind you, this is one of the better patches in a while. But I call it the game of the year, not just my most memorable experience of the year, not just because it's the game I played the most. I played a lot. I played Hand of Fate. I played
well documented
Shadow of War. Shadow of War is people give it a lot of shit for the loot boxes, and they should. But I did finish it without loot boxes, and I think it's more to my grindy nature because I did enjoy the last part of the grind because I could see how it fit the narrative.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of fueled my thought for it. Also because my fucking orcs needed me, and you don't abandon your fucking orcs. I got a dude with a lute, and it was an axe, and I was like, this guy's the best, he's singing for me, and then they killed him, and everyone died, the end. Because, fuck. I also like the twist at the end, it was a very neat twist.
Did you ever put, like, your game on the channel?
No, never. Because I think WB's not cool with that.
Oh, okay.
They're cool with streaming, but not YouTube, I think. Like,
it's recorded.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing with them. But I think
that's right, it's WB.
Yeah. From the people who brought you Injustice.
Yeah. That game keeps on going, holy shit.
It's good. It's actually good.
Yeah.
But the reason this because it much like most things I've discovered while recording videos is that it forced me to question part of who I am.
Go on.
Am I really Pat? Maybe, but it turns out I might be competitive Pat, or I might be not as competitive Pat. It forced me to answer questions like, what do I want to get out of a game?
The experience.
Because it is a problem with games now, but sometimes I find myself playing games just because they're there, not necessarily because I enjoy them, and it's not great for me, my time, or my wallet.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically.
Yeah. Yes.
And when I tried to make a run for the pro ladder, it's not even like I'm going to go pro. It's just like I reached it, and it's great. But
because you can,
I realized like this. Aside from failing it, but after that, like it wasn't. I was gonna try again. Although for a moment I felt like it. But is this what I really want? Is this the experience I want? And I stopped playing Gwent for a week because I realized this has stopped being fun. This has instead become
obsession.
A hassle coupled with a burden.
Okay.
And nobody asked it of me, and I wasn't enjoying myself.
Right. So no one's getting fun out of this.
Yeah. So I stopped for a week, came back, fresh as a daisy. It felt good again, and I had a greater focus on having fun. And it changed me as a gamer. I'm not saying that, I'm never going to be competitive. I like crushing people as much as the next guy. And I like crushing them in style. But, because you gotta play the weird decks.
Yeah.
Anybody...
As a fan of playing weird decks.
And that is still a conflict I have when I play. It's that, do I want something hyper-efficient? Is this how I want to win the game? Or do I want the style?
Yeah.
Because both can be fun, but and you can get away with it to a point, but there is going to get a moment where you have to pick between the two, and I'm still asking myself that question. So you went, maybe intentionally or not, forced me to ask the question of how I enjoy myself, and that will make it memorable for me.
Oh yeah, and also your channel's doing pretty well with the Gwent coverage.
Well is a relative term, but I have also changed the view in that I am playing and having fun and recording for the people who are there and not the people who aren't.
Yeah, okay, alright. I
think growth is nice.
And please watch and subscribe to this channel.
And if you want to donate. I'm kidding.
Donations welcome.
Never required, always free.
Patreon.
Which, they took back, they had this brief time where they were charging users for donating.
That's a weird thing.
Why?
That's a weird thing.
Why would you do that? But if it grows big, and it's not like this is something you do. Well, I guess most people do, but I don't want to do it that way. I don't want to be like, I'm doing a thing for the people there, which I am. But it's also not going to be done haphazardly. I do have plans for it, for growing it, but essentially for the people who are there.
That makes sense. They're the ones who show up. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You know the audience.
And we're mostly generally nice. I mean, some people complain about the voice, but then I listen to it and I agree about that one time. I should stop whispering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a point, sir.
Why do you hate pandas? Because fuck them, that's why.
Ling Ling sad.
Ling Ling fake pregnancy to get food.
Ling Ling smart. Okay. In speaking of
nature wants them dead.
Oh boy. Good thing I don't care about PETA.
I distinctly remember the last episode I was talking about zoos or something or another.
Yeah.
Animal rights, sure. Beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah, actually, he was like the organization. Like, I care enough about animals. I don't like the organization that kind of polices
You're
people.
like the Greenpeace of animals.
Speaking of YouTube channels, let's go to our last category.
Oh yeah, shit. There's another category.
What's your favorite like online show or program? That was it. It's book/literature.
We did books.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's the first one, and then games, and then the last category is like a YouTube/Twitch/online program. We're disqualifying like.
The proper answer is...
I'm checking if I'm stroking out because I don't remember any of this. Go on.
We're disqualifying like Netflix and Amazon, all those like services. They're considered under the TV shows. This is like indie stuff.
Are we disqualifying DFC?
No,
Yes.
no. I mean, like,
Why?
do you like? I mean, I'm not disqualifying it because it fits the proper like that's the kind of shows.
You know,
right?
we really should totally disqualify
I mean,
Fluffy Cloud, right?
I mean,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, but like those are the kinds of programs we're looking for.
he's doing a bad job.
I mean, we're disqualified for ethical reasons. Yes.
Netflix isn't the promise we made on this show.
That's true. So we're looking for your favorite YouTube program or Twitch show or whatever similar thing.
I'll go first.
Yeah. As someone who has an actual YouTube channel.
Barbecue Pit Boys.
Oh, yes.
There's just a bunch of old guys cooking great looking shit. Like, those guys are nice. I like, I mean, sometimes their sound is fucky. But
yeah, because they record outside a lot of the time.
Yeah, but their food looks great. They cooked an entire crock once in a massive fucking...
Really?
Wow.
An entire...
In the entire crock, in an entire grill, just bam,
Oh,
fits.
wow.
And I'm like, and I love how they're like, oh, we're rough, man, and like, we're all doing this dirty. And then they look at their tools and like, that's pretty fucking cool. Like, that's modern shit.
That's refined.
You went shopping.
That's refined stuff.
Your branding is flawed. I would have spat on it a few times to make it do. As for streamers, I mean, there's the big ones, but I mean, I love Keebler, like, because he made a Galvadon, the last dinosaur thing with his wife. But also, for some reason, he has a full bodysuit of a dinosaur.
Oh, that's always nice. The T-Rex suit?
Yeah, the T-Rex. Like, but why? But also, sure. I mean, I have been a fan of yours since literally I was in grade 4. Like,
Really?
yeah, he's been
Wow.
around forever. He's been in the gravy train in Magic forever.
Wow. Wait, where did he start?
Magic.
I mean, like... Oh, okay. From not necessarily like a channel, but like
Yeah,
as
from
a
this
player.
was before YouTube.
Yeah. Because like grade 4 was not like YouTube.
No,
I was not
internet
YouTube.
was not.
That's not
common.
there.
Access
was very limited.
As for Twitch stuff, I mean, I watch mostly Gwen channel now. It's really one of the three. If you're gonna watch a Gwen channel, it's gonna be either Life Coach, Super JJ, or Mifranor for me. I know I don't understand what the Life Coach is saying half the time because and Super JJ because they have in English, have in German, and I'm just nodding. Yeah, that's funny, I guess. But because like they're really like, have you seen? Like, I think he is older than me for once. Like for once, I'm watching somebody older than me. He's a power dork.
Okay.
And like he makes sound effects with his mouth as he's doing it not
stuff.
ironically, and it's clearly not for the audience. It's for him because he thinks that's fun. And I think
That's kind of adorable.
there needs to be more people who are just having fun and not chasing down people for a prank or shooting people for a prank. Maybe less pranks as a whole.
Less harmful pranks.
Same with Super JJ, and the last one, Mifranor, is because it's just a really chill stream. But I mean, it's not as frustrating Hearthstone, but it is still a very stressful brain game. And there are bad days. There can be bad days where you can do everything right
And still fuck up.
Yeah. Thanks, Picard, for giving us that wonderful life lesson.
That's true. I watched that episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are my picks.
Sir?
I could go on and on.
Please don't.
Yeah. So in terms of Twitch streamers, I'm not really a Twitch watcher.
Same.
So I'm gonna have to probably stick to YouTube. Now,
YouTube.
before I start spewing channels, I guess the thing that I watch most of, the thing that I am the biggest fan of, and I've been so for a good, more than 5 years now, maybe.
Porn.
Wait, is it five? Maybe, yeah, 5 years, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I don't recall, but somewhere around there is the website Giant Bomb.
Oh, Giant Bomb.
So,
Formed from people after that.
GameSpot.
From
Jeff
Kane and Lynch.
Gerstmann, yeah. So, basically, they are a bunch of guys who get together, they play games, they do silly stuff, and they're great at it.
I remember you telling me that we were the guys who sold you in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they also, for their YouTube content especially, they make quick looks, what they call quick looks of games, which is basically playing about 20 minutes to an hour, 20 minutes of a game. And they do some text reviews, written reviews, but rarely their philosophy really is, show the
Video.
game in action.
Yeah.
And it's not even a video review, it's, hey, we're going to play the game and talk about it, and that's it. You make up your own mind, and they're great at it. I have nothing bad to say about Giant Bomb except that it's sad when someone leaves.
Someone left.
Oh no, some people. It's a website that's been around, I think, since 2000.
Okay. Right.
No.
People just eventually go.
People just eventually move on.
Yeah.
But aside from that, they're a very personality-driven website, and it's great. So that would be the pick. And if I had to recommend anything, I would say go to Giant Bomb and look at some of their content. Get a subscription if you want to. But yeah, going to YouTube. Video games wise, I'd say. Well, no, it's hard. This is a tough one because I look at it a lot. So in terms of fun, if I want to have fun when I'm watching, if I want to have like real fun, as opposed to fake fun. One of the theorist channels. So Matt Pat. Game Theory.
That's why it was on your playlist, because they were in the Hearthstone challenge room, the mystery room.
Yes.
Right.
So
Film Theory, Game Theory, and a bunch of the related stuff.
Well, they basically, as far as I know, they have Film Theory, Game Theory, and they have GT Live, which is their streaming.
Yeah,
their live streaming. And
they have the YouTube Red channel.
Yeah, that wasn't so good. YouTube Red as a whole, I can't really say it's
I know.
good. Anyhow, so they had Matt Pat has a series on YouTube Red. I think it's just one. I've actually watched it, but anyway, what can I say? He's really interesting. He and his team put a lot of work into the theories. They might not be 100% accurate.
But
it's just a theory.
They're fun to watch. They're fun to think about. It's amazing. And
I have only one issue about that. Like their incessant coverage on that stuffed toy
FNAF. For some that seems to be what everyone. That's what I feel like at this point Theory got popular on.
I feel like at this point it's an inside joke on their part. Like, fuck you, we're gonna do FNAF again. Let's go. People will go. People will still go.
So the explanation he gave about that was twofold. Number one,
he loves the game.
He really loves
He does. It shows.
And
you don't spend that much time doing multi-part videos on one game.
Well, 6 games.
I mean, one series, right? It's like every new game,
and
he has one.
Him, his wife, his team, they love FNAF.
They really love it.
But aside from that, it is what blew up his channel.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's. If not just that, it's that and something else. But that's one of the things that really blew up his channel, his theories on FNAF and so on. But they're just they're just fun. His videos are just a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to think about.
Yeah,
and,
they do
that.
offer like.
I mean, I'm gonna just asides. I
Honorable
think
mentions?
Honorable mentions. I think there are a lot of good. I mean, the Wisecrack channel is amazing.
Yeah.
Wendover Productions is amazing. Nerd Writer is amazing.
Yeah, when Nerd Writer is gold, it's like gold. It's gold.
Yeah, there are a few of the smaller channels. I mean, they're not in the millions of millions.
Everything, every screen of painting is
Every
fine.
screen of painting is. Did they stop?
They stopped.
They stopped, right? Yeah.
They stopped.
Every frame.
Every frame of painting. That's right. Every frame
of
painting.
Yeah. The name that I always butcher, Kurkazat?
Kurskazat.
Kurskazat. That's an amazing
I
channel.
can't pronounce that name.
Yeah.
They have guys. Like I mean,
Amazing production values.
Well, that's why it takes them, I think, months to make a single video.
And like interesting shit.
Very.
It's well researched, I think, and well explained.
Yeah. So yeah, those are amazing channels. If you get the chance, if you have some time on your hands, watch them.
Look at my list. Right
and then
what did I watch?
Watch all of them and lose your life to YouTube.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they're amazing. Also, since I mentioned MatPat and
shout out to MatPat. You don't
shout
know
out
us.
to MatPat. Since I mentioned MatPat and Game Theorist, if there's one video or one series of videos that you have to watch, you have to watch the GT Live coverage, quote unquote, of Doki Doki Literature Club. That
Really?
is amazing.
They have a
The
Doki
game
Doki.
is really interesting, and the playthrough that they did was amazing. Yeah.
Okay, I might check that out.
Yeah.
I haven't really watched a GT Live episode in full because it's like an hour plus
2 hours.
2 hours
per. They have highlight reels condensed,
Okay.
but
I know it's a different experience.
It is.
It is different.
But if you get the chance to, if you get a free 8 hours of time, even staggered 8 hours of time,
just like
check it out. Doki Doki Literature Club.
All right,
It's,
I actually might just do that.
That's a big one. That's an amazing one. Yeah.
Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh man, it's
All
sounds good. It sounds cutesy and all, but
It does sound cutesy.
Then it is, but all right. No spoilers.
Okay, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
It's on you, Puns.
All right, so I have like you been watching a lot of like YouTube stuff, and so I'll start with the honorable mentions. Munchies and their like food videos are one of my favorites. Hot Ones. If you know the show Hot Ones, okay, Hot Ones is one of those brilliant concepts I wish I thought of, where it's an interview with a celebrity, and the deal is as they interview the guy, they're eating chicken wings.
Oh, okay.
Of progressive heat levels until it's like really unbearably hot. Like just 10 wings, 10 questions, each wing hotter than the last.
Oh, okay.
And so you get to see like strangers that start, virtually strangers, right? They've never really met except that day, and they open up because they can't think straight. The defenses go down as the heat comes up.
It's like torture.
Yeah. And so like you can see like people react badly to the experience. Like they like the show, but they're really suffering. Like some people freak out, others go like big, and like they would pass out. I know one of them. I forgot who it was, but he went straight to the end and like really dunked it, and he almost passed out.
I regret this immediately.
Yeah, and they have a Hall of Shame where people who don't get to finish all 10 they tap out.
So that's Hot Ones.
That's Hot
from
Ones.
The channel First We Feast.
First We Feast, yeah. So that's actually pretty. It gets interesting because the interviewer is really good at asking questions. Like he's one of the best of the web interview things, and he gets like commendations for it. He's in this team research the guys are interviewing. They ask surprisingly like insightful questions, not just like the press junket kind of deal. So that's fun. It's always fun, like 20 minutes.
Like how Daenerys keeps getting asked, how about that nudity, huh?
Yeah, like it's not that garbage thing. You'd hear the guests like really appreciate the questions they get thrown. Because they're surprised, like, holy shit, it's a real interview and I'm eating hot wings.
This is the best combo. More wings.
Like, I hate you, but also thanks. But my for the year, the one channel I got really obsessed about is Polygon. Yeah. Because I'm a
Really?
fan of the McElroy brothers. Like, ever since I got into their podcasting thing. So, apparently, two of them worked with Polygon. Griffin and Justin work in Polygon. And they have a series of videos. And my favorite videos on the channel, the one I'm watching right now is Awful Squad, which essentially is their PUBG show.
shit.
Where they play with their office mates. It's called Awful because they're all mostly awful with the game, and it's them like streaming it, and it's fun. Like, and as someone who's never played PUBG, it makes me want to play PUBG.
All right.
So that's fun. But my favorite is what they call where is that? Monster Factory.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I've told you
That's
Monster
good.
Factory. Monster Factory is essentially the two brothers, like, have this show, and their goal is to go to any game that has a character generator and just make the worst looking character available.
Justice Beam.
Like, just the worst. Like, there's in one, what's the vampire, like, Dark Souls kind of thing?
Vampire Dark Souls Neo? No,
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
Like, they tried to play Bloodborne. They ended up with Toucan Man. Because they just maxed out the nose. It looked like a toucan beak. And just made him colored blue. It's just like, and they play through the game as that character, as the worst looking character. And they make up a story along the way. So it's really kind of clever. They have another one. It was an old series called Touch the Skyrim, where the goal is to mod Skyrim with as many mods as possible until the game breaks. But of the offshoot, like the gem of the McElroy video products is what is called Things I Bought at Sheets.
Where Sheets?
Sheets is apparently a 7-Eleven in a gas station.
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
a convenience store
Christ,
in
no.
a gas station.
That can't end well.
And it starts off like this. It's a simple show, like two guys in an office. It's Justin and his office mate, and it's a review quiz show, review food quiz show, where he buys a random item from Sheets, and he tastes it, and his office mate will have to guess if he liked it or not. And it's such a simple, beautiful premise that by episode 3, they're doing a meta narrative.
Jesus.
Like, things happen, like they get married and propose to each other by
God.
accident. Like, it's the weird thing, and you kind of just them pushing what storytelling is on the basic premise of this is like still a quiz show. Like, there's still that conceit.
But somehow there's also stuff happening.
There's also stuff happening. So it's a short series. It's done, I think. But it's not even in Polygon. Like, I just found it through, like, Hoops of that one, which is his code name also, Hoops. So yeah, that's my pick. Polygon is my current, like, favorite web channel.
And you're talking about Polygon on YouTube. Their channel.
On YouTube,
there.
yeah,
Not,
on YouTube. Not the
but I
web.
guess it's on their site as well.
Yeah, like,
Must
it
be,
links to
yeah.
the YouTube channel. But it's just that, like, it's easier for me to access the YouTube,
Sure,
just because,
yeah.
like, I check it every day.
Right.
Wisecrack is also something I watch. There's a lot of things on YouTube that I
There's a
enjoy.
lot of things on YouTube.
Like, for a year, I was just watching... Before Netflix, there was a time before Netflix in my life where I had no TV, but I had YouTube and no Netflix.
That's a weird little part there.
Yeah.
We've got Netflix, and it's still my wife who watches Netflix. She tells me all the time, you got Netflix and you haven't watched a single thing on Netflix, you're still on YouTube. And I say, yeah, that's
It's still
right.
good.
Yeah.
Like,
That's true. Popcorn. YouTube.
Yeah, so that's my pick, and I think that's it for this episode, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be it for our New Year's
This New
starter.
Year's episode. Yeah, it's a New Year's special. By special, I mean it's like longer than most of our episodes. It's really that.
Happy New Year.
Happy
it's
New Year, everyone.
2018.
Depending on how long this takes to upload, one of
Hang
us
on,
may
on.
be older.
Hang on. It's 2018. Let's go through this very quickly.
Okay.
New Year's resolutions that aren't regarding this podcast.
Okay.
Go.
Why me? You asked the question. It's
Nice.
better choices.
But that's too vague.
I mean,
Better life choices.
That's still too vague.
And do more art.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because like, it's one of those things. No. Finish a comic. There.
Finish a comic.
Yeah. That's the one.
Alright, that's
boy face, I mean like not read, I mean like make.
I've read 24 pages.
I've read enough.
Good job.
That's not a problem.
Is that a threat? I've read enough.
No, I mean like I've read, like reading is not the problem.
Okay.
Neither is it a solution. Go, sir.
Bad.
Continue in this horrible diet I've chosen. Actually, no, it's not a bad diet. But sometimes I do miss just having carbs, or at least more carbs. But I actually like it. It has taught me that I think for the majority of my life I've been...
Let's stop this shit show. My New Year's resolution is eat better, maybe
Hang out with these
less
two assholes.
sugar, and
Less sugar. Let me remind you, you're the one who ordered the fucking
I know, that's
Kit
why
Kat.
it's a New Year's resolution.
Kit Kat bits, man. Kit Kat.
Kit Kat bits. Alright, let's shut down this shit show.
Welcome to the new year.
Welcome to the new year.
We
We're
promise
sorry.
to produce more content than last year.
That's the resolution of the channel.
Yeah.
We're sorry for the long beep. I'm pretty sure what I said was okay.
I'm gonna bet $20 that Ponzi's not gonna put a long beep, either one because he'll forget or two because he'll be too lazy to.
No, the answer is I'll cut that part.
But then he won't have a resolution. No, that's fine.
No, because I just have to cut the last part. The resolution is still
That's
there.
true. Yeah.
Wait, no, that just makes me sound worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The mystery will persist.
also,
I like mystery. Chicks dig mystery.
At Patinator.
look forward to Beyond Keyboard and Chair with
April
Tim
1.
and Ponzi on the Dark Fluffy Cloud channel.
Nice.
It's gonna be great.
That's content I don't have to work on.
We'll accept all.
You guys think it's a threat? It's an acceptance.
Also, the next podcast with my 2-year-old daughter spewing random words.
Sure,
for
I'd like-
about an hour. That'd be good too.
An R.
An hour.
Actually, I don't know what the next episode's going to be.
Hey, you can diversify your audience. You're gonna get
Babies.
baby lovers as well on your channel.
Oof, that's not a good deal right now.
Good, like
That's
market at this point.
No, there's nothing wrong with. Shut it down.
so next.
Just
So
shut it down,
in
Pots.
the
Just shut it
worst
down.
transition ever.
Just shut it down.
Next
Put it
episode.
on the ground. Bye. Bye,
Valentine's
everyone.
Day.
See you soon.
Love. What is it good for? Who knows?
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good new year.
Bye.